I understand why there are no scrapped cars in Pakistan. I can't imagine how thorough their transformation is. With just some simple tools, it is no less than remaking a scrap truck to have a new look. This operation is no less than remaking it. The sprinkler truck in front of me, which has been with the owner for 30 years, is the protagonist of this upgrade. Although the whole car has a horn and doesn't want to go anywhere, it can still drive normally on the road. This is the persistence of the Pakistani people. The first step in upgrading this sprinkler truck is to use their high-end crane to remove the large water tank at the rear. The surface is covered with sleeves, which can show the ups and downs of these years. With the cooperation of the master, the truck will now be moved to the repair station. Although the repair shop is an open-air environment, its reputation is their strength. Because the chassis needs to be fully reinforced this time, all chassis parts need to be disassembled. The master will not hesitate to use this directly welded bracket to cut it, and then knock off the fixed anchor head of the beam so that the cross beam and the beam can be completely separated. Although the body of this truck is huge, the structure of the chassis is very simple. The suspension bracket needs to be separated from the beam. The rear axle can be disassembled quickly. After the rear of the truck is cleared, the head can be disassembled. Considering that there is no fault in this powertrain, the owner directly chose to continue using it. After all, this is the greatest value of this car. Then the cross beam fixed to the head is disassembled. After disassembling it to only the beam steel plate because the interior is severely rusted and the overall strength is not enough to carry goods, the factory selected these thickened steel plates and bent them through a large hydraulic press. It becomes the basic shape of the truck beam. Even if the original beam is severely rusted, it only needs to be wrapped with this layer of steel plate to complete the reinforcement of the chassis beam. For the welding plate welded with 3 layers of steel plates, the master needs to use an angle grinder to grind it flat. This causes the fixing holes of the original vehicle to be covered, and the beam steel plate needs to be re-drilled with an electric drill. The beams can be restored to the original hole spacing. Then the beams can be connected with cross beams. Of course, it is the original chassis crossbeam that has not been refurbished. As long as the beam steel plate has been reinforced, the bearing capacity of the entire chassis fully meets the requirements. This type of truck chassis beam is fixed. Generally, this type of anchor is used for anchoring. This can prevent loosening during driving and improve the stability of the chassis. After continuous high-temperature heating, you can use the wolf head to knock to shape the anchor head so that there is no mineral content between the steel plates. Since the original rear axle uses a 4-group plate yellow structure, the repair shop must install a high-end balance shaft on the rear axle in order to improve the bearing capacity of the chassis. Although it is not as strong as the 100-ton King chassis, but the water truck is converted into a Lahaz riding car. This is also a necessary upgrade and transformation plan. After the chassis is completely assembled into a whole, the original front axle can now be installed. This directly disassembled front axle assembly, the connection and fixation of the front axle and the chassis are completed. Considering the needs of the car owner to pull more, the repair shop also upgraded the truck with a dual drive axle. Although the original engine displacement is not large, it can improve the performance of climbing. After pushing the first bridge smoothly, the plate and the balance shaft can be connected. Of course, the parts used are old dismantled parts. As long as they are maintained, they can be used. After the rear axle and the balance suspension are completely fixed, the engine with 600,000 kilometers will be reinstalled on the chassis beam, and as long as the new engine foot pads are replaced, there will be basically no problems. As the chassis gradually takes shape, the 80% new driver ordered by the owner has also been sent to the repair shop. Although they are all repaired by dismantling the sheet metal from the accident car, as long as there is no trace on the surface, it can also bring the experience of a brand new car. Then this nearly scrapped sprinkler truck has been simply upgraded and transformed. What do you think of such maintenance skills?